All right, perfect. Good. Guys, I'm going to kick right off. I'm also going to open up for questions at the end. So I'm just going to kind of talk to you. I've got some notes I want to cover because I think it's really, really important to sort of understand the full picture. Like becoming like a funded trader for me personally has been a journey, has been an absolute journey. So I hope what I go through today, some of you may have experienced, you might experience down the line. I might be able to inspire some of you, hopefully. But I just, you get what you see with me. Like my team and I are very honest, and I'll just take you through what's been going on with me. So I've had one response in the chat box. So we've got Matt been in the academy 4 or 5 months. What about the rest of you guys? Are you sort of new, old? How long have you been in the academy? So if you just put the amount of months, just so I know how advanced to make it. So 3 months or so. What strategy are you guys using, or what are you learning at the moment? So you guys price track, bank heist, price track. New money on this tool, I like that. As Des would say, new money. Price track, bank heist. Okay, a few months, scanner. All right, sweet. So, yeah, anything you want me to clarify, drop in the chat box. And if I miss it as I'm rambling on, I'll try and go back over it. But so I'll let you know sort of how I got involved in Forex to start with, because for the last sort of 10 to 12 years, I've been in financial services. So like mortgage protection, doing insurance, all that sort of stuff. And that's where I met the one and only Des Amy. So we worked for the same sort of network. So we just sort of connected that way. And about 3 years ago, I actually left the company that we met at, and I set up my own business. So I sort of had that entrepreneurial spirit back then, and the reason I did that was I was sick and tired of the 9 to 5 and traveling to and from work. I kind of wanted to be in charge of my own day, not have to answer how long I've been for lunch. I was early 30s at the time, and I thought, I need something that's more grown up, but also I've got a little boy that's 7. He's 7 now, so I wanted to sort of develop something where I could be flexible with my time and drop him off to school and all that sort of stuff. Like I was trying to live the life we all sort of desire. And that was one hell of a lesson. Setting up a business is not easy, especially in the first few years. So lots and lots of growth, lots of lessons learned, lots and lots of kind of smacks in the face where people let you down. But you just get on with it, don't you? You have to. So it was going well. A couple of years down the line, things were going good, and I remember reaching out to Des and saying, "Mate, I'm coming to London. I want to present to you what I'm doing now. Let's hook up." And he counter pitched me. So he pitched me the academy as I was pitching him, business, an opportunity I had. So I'm never one to sort of shut the door on an opportunity. So I wanted to know more. This was back in 2019. So I was quite early in my business still, and I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. He's made it sound like an opportunity I can't pass by. So everyone knows what Des is like, right? He's quite persuasive at times. So I jumped in. I was doing the copy paste profit. I've always been interested in charts and like finance, so it kind of suited my eye, and had a really good first 3 weeks. I like doubled my account, like literally, like withdrew all my money out, like the money I initially put in, and I was like, right, this is easy. Like, why doesn't everyone do this? And then I got stung on a gold trade. I put a standard lot on a gold trade. I only had a few £100 in my account, and it was literally gone in seconds. scared the life out of me, to be honest. It was about 3 minutes and it was gone. My account was shut. um, I kind of decided at the time it wasn't right for me right now. I didn't have I wasn't mentally in the right place to be able to really appreciate what I had at my fingertips. I didn't really know either. So I kind of left. So that was sometime in early 19. So fast forward, I still cracking on with the business. I bought my business partner out in January 20. Yeah, he's not really, he wasn't really helping, so I paid him off. That was pretty much all my savings. I had 1 full month of being solo. Had a really good month, and then the dreaded lockdown hit. So I was in a business where it was all face to face. So instantly, like literally a click of a finger, my business was shut. Didn't have an office, so I couldn't claim any benefits. All that sort of stuff went on. You're told to pay yourself next to nothing by your accountant. So that backfired on these. So yeah, it's been a tough time. But I thought, all right, well, I'm at home, so I saw one of Des's posters again. I thought, right, I'm going to give this a proper go now. I've got the time. I've been keeping in touch with him. Seen his success. I thought, right, now's my opportunity. I'm going to study hard, and I want to perfect it. So that was March 20. So I've only been in the academy properly, like seriously, for a year. So 12 months. And I became funded in March. I've been very long. So in a year's time, like the amount I've learned and grown has been ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So those of you that are just starting out, this is the place to be if you want financial freedom, 100%. I cannot recommend this academy enough. Amazing. So I joined through Des. I was putting Bryony Bender's team, and yeah, I'd never met the lady. We sort of connected. Wasn't sure what a mentor was meant to be for Forex. I was kind of completely out of like my zone. I didn't know what was going on. She sent me all these lists of videos to watch, and I was like, right. So going through the videos, going through Manny Q's boot camp, I remember distinctly thinking, like, I can't watch it anymore because nothing else is going in. Like my brain is done. And I remember calling Bryony and texting her all the time, and I thought, I just hope that I can one day trade on my own. I didn't want to take signals, although signals are great, but I wanted to be able to like be in a beach in like, I don't know, Barbados, and that was kind of the vision I had, that I'd just trade on the beach. Still one of my dreams. And I went on a call with Manny Q. He did a call with the academy with our little team, and something he said to me like stuck. So I'm going to share it with you. He talked about mindset phases. So he said there's 4 mindset phases when it comes to Forex. Phase 1 is excitement. So you join the academy, there's everything you see, all the products, all the scanners, all the videos, and it's real. Oh, this is real. This is legit. Oh, cool. So you're like eager to get going. You start placing trades like demo. You're trading 15 times a day. I don't know what you're doing, but I was on it. I loved it. So yeah, I got that. Phase 1, definitely. Then he said phase 2 is you'll have some bumps in the road, and this is phase 2 is the killer of dreams. Phase 2 is self-doubt. I remember I was scribbling these down, and I remember stopping and going, yeah, okay, I'm in that zone right now. Like, I can't understand fibs. What are fibs? Just about to do support and resistance. Like, what on earth are fibs? I remember going over that video about 50 times, no joke. Like, I have to master it. So like, I doubted myself loads. Like, literally, like, can I get this? And I don't consider myself to be someone that can't get things like I normally can learn. It was just frustrating me. So I was like doubting myself. And he said, and then what will happen is you'll have a moment. You'll have this moment, and that's where things start to really change. Like all clicked, and it's called self-belief. So you go from like, you know, thinking you can't do it to, oh, I get it, right, I get it, right. When this happens, do this. Okay, that's what the entry candle is. Like all that sort of stuff. And self-belief's a really good state because you grow in confidence and you have that kind of, that your vision, well, mine did anyway. My vision literally went to the moon. I was like, right, I want a trading floor in Bournemouth, like I'm in the south. I want a new car. I want to pay my mum's mortgage off. Like I did a list of 100 goals, like literally all these things I wanted to achieve. And he said, and then when your life will change is when you hit mindset stage number 4, which is faith. Like where you know it on autopilot, and you can't help but see. That's when your life changes forever. And I remember writing these things down, and I thought, like, right, my favorite number is number 4, my number in football. I'm like, I'm getting there. I'm going to get to that stage. I just had this like absolute burning desire to win, be able to trade. What Manny didn't tell me, which I've found out, is that these phases of your mind, you kind of conquer little. You have these little wins, and you go from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and actually you fluctuate all the time. Well, I do. So fibs was one, doubted myself, figured it. I love fibs now. Like figured it out, got it, all clicked. And then it was like, what was next? Well, trying to get. I was learning multiplier. I was learning scanner source, and you know, I got it. I just wasn't getting the results, and I just couldn't. I doubt again. Like, does this actually work? You know, what you think about. So put that with. I've got a little boy. You know, he's off school, homeschooling, business going down the pan, no support, savings eroding. I had every single opportunity to quit. Like I've not had an easy journey. It's been one of those where I'll tell you what was significant for me actually. So kind of around so I started in March, and around April, end of April, I was like, right, I'm going live. I'm going to use my own money. I'm going to double it. I don't know. I had these like crazy dreams of doubling it in a few weeks. So I put £1,000 into an account, and the first few trades, you know, I was pretty cautious. It went all right, pretty good. And then I was realizing that, you know, I wasn't being very smart. Like I wasn't really working out my lot size and my risk. And I was closing trades when they were like 5, 6, 7, 8 pips in profit for like the number of the money. So what I did, I got myself into like this terrible habit of actually not seeing any trade through ever. So I didn't really have an idea of how successful it was. That makes sense. Like, I don't know if it goes on to hit TP because I didn't even watch it. You know, I got in, got out, and that's cool. That's scalping. Fine. That's some people's strategy. But what I really realized was actually to make really good money, you either have to like risk it all, or you have to put more money in. Because I was making sort of 10-15% a month, like from May, like easily. Like I was doing that in weeks. I was like 150 quid on my £1,000 account. And I remember distinctly having a conversation with Brian saying, well, 150 quid a week. You know, that's not going to change my life. Like, I'm going to have to chuck a lot of money at this. And she was like, well, just grow it, you know, do the compound plan, grow it. She was looking out for me. She didn't want me to blow my money. So, and I was still very early in my sort of experience. So fast forward to, this happened all summer. Like I was making 100 quid, losing 80, making 40, losing 70. You know, I was just like treading water all the time. Wasn't really making money. Was winning some, losing some. Had no idea what my success rate was. I was using about 12 strategies. I learned steady, gold, scanner source, multi-fire, DeLorean. Like I was like everything they tell you not to do, like the cycle of doom, getting distracted and being average at everything. That was me. They basically they were talking to me, but I wasn't listening. So it came to around sort of October time. And I remember having a chat with Des, and he's like, "Mate, why don't you get a funded account?" I said, "What are you talking about? Funded account? Get a funded account. Don't risk your own money. Like go big, go like be a pro." And I was like, "What is a funded account?" So that kind of, I'd heard about them before. Again, like when you're early on, sometimes the information just doesn't land. So I've been told numerous times. I had no idea what they really were. Obviously, got the logic. And that's when Des was like, "Right, I'm going to do a Zoom. I'm going to do a presentation to everyone and get this exposed so people know what's what." So I remember sitting on the Zoom thinking like, "Okay, I can trade with $100,000. Like quick maths, like okay, if I make 15%, that's really good money. Like, that's better money than I was getting in my business. Plus, I can do it from home. I've got a boss. Like the lifestyle, the dreams started ticking in again. Like right, I'm gonna have offices all over the world. I've got friends and family all over the world. So I'm like, I fly to Canada and bug my cousins, and then get all their mates in an academy. Literally, my mind just goes on overdrive. So, yeah, that kind of was the missing puzzle piece for me. And I thought, right, I need to start taking this seriously. Like, I realized that I wasn't, with my own money, which is ridiculous, I wasn't taking it as seriously. So I withdrew my money from my live account, set up a demo for 100K. And that was in October. I was like, right, I can trade. Come on, I know how to trade. I did about 3 weeks of seeing it, like just getting the lot size sorted. I'm like an absolute stickler for risk management. So I only risk like 1% of the account per trade. Like that's it. Quite cautious, really. And I grew the account by like 16 grand in 8 days. So I rang Bryony. I'm like, right, Queen Bee, I'm ready. I'm going funded. She was like, yeah, okay. Right, do what you need to do. So I paid for the test. Test came in. All right, just do the same thing. That's when it dawned on me that every step along this journey takes like another version of you, like a better version of you. And I failed that first test. It was about 2.5 weeks. It's about 17 trading days in. I over leveraged on a gold cup signal. Yeah, that was the end of it. I was kind of already doomed. But that sort of was the nail in the coffin. So like, again, I went back to phase 2, self-doubt, like, oh my God, like maybe I can't do this. And that's when Bryony said to me, like Bryony, I absolutely like love, adore, and respect. Like she's always picked me up. I think that's really important from like a mentor or anyone that's supporting you, is they're there to kind of guide you when you need it. And she was like, what personal development? What are you doing for personal development? And do you know what? Like, is anyone hearing me here? Like, personal development and trading, to start with, I did not connect the dots. Like, has anyone else? Someone told me to do someone else told me to do a vision board in my launch call. I was like, what? Vision board? What's that got to do with trading? Like, do you know when things don't align? I have no idea. So I slowly started getting more into it because more people I noticed that had what I wanted, like Manny, Luke, Des, Bryony, like all these people that I sort of I want what they've got, you know, whether it's income or like status of a pro trader, all these things, they're all talking about personal development. And I'm not doing it really. I was sort of in gesture. And I was told to read a book. Any of you with notes or taking notes? There's loads of books I could suggest, but obviously Rich Dad Poor Dad. I did the audio book on the AMI website. But someone told me to get Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Let me chuck that in the chat. I'm not related to him. I don't know him. Just a really, really good book. So I got the book and the audio book. So it's like psychology of trading. So it's kind of like personal development, but absolutely relevant trading. So that connected dots for me. And so much in there changed everything for me. So he talks about you know, having an edge. The edge is your strategy, and he's talks about, like, you know, you only trade when your strategy triggers. You know, when it all lines up and you're happy with all your confirmations, it's the only time you trade. Well, this guy was trading anything that looked like it was going to go up or down, which is everything. So I didn't really have like a defined strategy. So this is where I'm in a leadership team, in the A team, and they call me the nutty professor. And the reason is, again, someone told me to journal. Did I journal? Absolutely not. Did I start journaling? Absolutely. I went to absolute town on Scanner Source. So I'd been around the houses, DeLorean, I've done loads of the stuff. All the strategies work. That's why they're there. They work. Does it work for you? So I resonated with Scanner Source the most. I just liked the way there was an algorithm that cut out all the time of assessing charts. And I just like the, you know, step by step. I'm going to show you how I use it as well. Like it lines up and you trade. Love that. So the only thing about the scanner, I don't know how much you guys are on the scanner, but you can't back test it. So, you know, when you've got a strategy and you want to see how successful it is, you know, you might have been told to go back 60 days and replay the market. You can't do that with the scanner because it's pattern up, and that pattern only stays there whilst the trade's valid. And once it's done, it's done. You know, you can't really use it like that. So it took me absolutely months. So when was this? This was like mid-November till probably February. Like I had a really clear idea by January, but by February I had enough samples, enough trades to work out everything. So my journal covered the date, day of the week, the session. So if I was trading London, New York, the crossover, Asia, then if I followed all my rules, which I didn't always do, very stupid, and like little bits and pieces like that. Also covered like how I felt when I was trading, like did I babysit the trade? Was I anxious? Was I constantly looking? Like this is still on demo and stuff. But what I really was trying to do is try and figure out a way to get what I want out of trading, but I wanted my journal to tell me. That makes sense. So my goal of trading is to be free, not just financially, but to have time. You know, I want to travel. I want to take my son away in the school holidays for the whole time and just travel and just pop my laptop up, trade. You know, I wanted it to be like nonchalant, like that elite. That's what I want. So I was like, I need a strategy that I'm not checking the charts every 5 seconds. And I came up with this through my journaling. I've come up with a pattern, or like a way of using the Scanner Source, which I'm going to show you as well, that got me funded. So around mid-January, I took my second test. Took my second test. Now I was rushing it. Is that the right way to put it? Right, do you know you can pass the first stage in 10 days? And the second stage, whatever. I was trying to do it in the shortest amount of time possible. So again, emotion was leading and not the trading. So you may have an idea where this is headed, but this attempt was really good. I got to like 9% growth, and I'm like, come on, right. Then I lost one. I'm like, okay, I'm back down at 7 or whatever, 8. I lost the next one. I'm like, okay, right, cool. Lost the next one. I'm like, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? And then finally, completely spiraled. And Luke called a trade. He hadn't lost all year. I chucked like 4% on it, and that was it. I was out. I was done. Out for the count. Thank you very much. So, what I took from that, obviously, I'd like thrown myself into personal development, and I kind of thought like, right, don't be emotional. Try and figure out what went wrong. So I had my journal, and midway through the second test, I made up a strategy. Don't know why, but it was kind of scanner source, kind of break and retest. I don't even know what that is. Obviously, I know what that is, but from a strategy, I was winging it, just trying to rush and wing it, and not very patient. So I had like half a day of wallowing. I remember calling Brian and being like, I just don't know. Self-doubt again. Step 2 came in. And she was like, I said to her, like, I'm going to go through my journal and figure it out. Like, well, call me back. So went through my journal, figured out that obviously I made up a strategy that lost me more than 10%. So that wiped out all my profit and my chance of being funded. And so I ran back and said, look, it's me. So I'm going to pay for a test again tomorrow. This time, if I break my rules, I've got an accountability partner. So my mate who's in the academy, I was like, if I break the rules, I'm going to give you a tenner every time I do it. And he was like, okay. What I figured out with my journal is if I stick to this strategy that I'm going to show you, it's about 70% accurate to TP3, and the risk reward is ridiculous. So you don't even need to be 70% accurate to make money and pass the test. He was like, cool, let's go, let's do it. Paid for the test. And then I ended up passing both stages in 3 trades. And that's because I just followed this. And I've been following this for ages, but losing trades in between using different strategies. So I weaned those out, got rid of those strategies, just concentrated on, right, I'll listen to Luke because fundamentally he's really good. And then I'm going to do scanner source this way and this way only. So the only time I trade myself, I use this. So look, before I go on to showing you exactly how I use it, I hope you've enjoyed my story. It's kind of, obviously, it's a year in like half an hour, but honestly, there's been so many times where I could have just given up and not got to where I am today. And I feel blessed and privileged to be able to trade a funded account. Like, it's been a dream of mine for ages, and my goal was just so big that I couldn't let my mindset, my silly ways, stop me from achieving it. Like, there's no way I was going to get a job. No way was I going to, give up on this, because the opportunity is too big. So if I can like echo anything from my story, it's that. It's just, take it really seriously. And if you want it to change your life, you're in the right place. You're literally in the right place. So feel free to drop any comments, questions, or anything like that about your journey or whatever. But who's ready? Who's ready to see the scanner? See how see what I was able to conjure up through months of journaling. Oh, I know there's not much help. Right, let's do it. I'm going to share. There isn't much around. I've got some videos on YouTube that I can send over. Can you see the scanner? Literally just over your last few days. Yeah, man. Cool. Yeah, Matt, I've been there. I've been there. You've heard. Just got to keep going. All right. So my journal told me to use only hot forex. I only use the broker hot forex. Don't look at any others. Not interested. My success rate on hot forex is the best by far. So I don't use any others. I only use the 1 hour chart. Only use the 1 hour. What I do first of all, like the scanner, has anyone found it being a bit glitchy at the moment? It sort of does this. Watch the pattern. Just disappears on me. Significant though. So what I do when I see a fresh scan, so imagine this hadn't moved away from entry. Oh my God. Right, so we've got the pattern here, yeah? So if anyone's new to the scanner, let me just explain. It's a reversal algorithm. So it's scanning the market 24/5. Every second the market's open, it's scanning for certain market conditions where it's likely to reverse. Fib levels, it's got Elliott waves, it's got all, I don't even know all the intricacies. I know that it's decent. So it basically says that D enter, your TPs are below, that means it's a sell. So that this scanner is saying the market should fall into this area, into this space. Okay. So for me to be selling, the first step's really, really simple. I zoom out and I just want to get the overall essence of market. What's the market doing? So in my opinion, and this is subjective, which I'll come to later, but that is, it started higher than it is now. So, it's clearly going down. Yeah, everyone with me? That's step one. If I'm not with the trend, if it's a sell in an uptrend, I just go to the next one. The reason I'm going through EG is my team and I took it. Right, we took it. So step one, is it with the trend? Yeah, pretty straightforward. Is it with the trend? So Manny says it all the time in his videos, the trend is your friend. You hear it batting around. Are we with the trend? Step two is, are we on structure? So what I do is I'll get a little rectangle out and I'll put it, just around entry and just pull it back and see what's going on. So for me, it's a little bit scrappy, maybe a little stop pump, but price has been in this area quite a few times. So, depending on what you've watched, this zone can be quite weak. It's been tapped quite a few times. But the scanner with a downtrend giving us a sell. Tick, happy. So I then look for divergence. All right, it's not part of the strategy. So it's a little add-on, a little bonus. I then look for divergence. So divergence, if you don't know, is you see the market here is kind of just making a higher high between X and D, just slightly. Well, I want so let's say that's slightly going up. I want the AO from the same points to be doing something different. So can you see here that This is going down quite sharp. Yeah, well, that's kind of level and that's going down. That is divergence. So that means that it will reverse. By how much and how far and how quickly, all of that's up to the market, but it's going to turn. Cool. So I then look at fib levels. So did everyone know that on the scanner, these you see between X and D, we've got a number in the middle, 1056. That's the fib level between this high and this high. The 1561 between B and D is the fib level between this high and entry. So my sweet spot is a Gartley pattern. Hasn't been any today. Actually, USD CAD was on here earlier, which was a Gartley. Gartley's my favorite. My journal tells me. My journal says I'm very, very good. But I'll take any pattern, any pattern. It's more about the structure. So I'll just keep an eye on the fib levels. If this B and D is over the 127, the 127 extension, so it's the 1.56, then I'm very interested. Okay, the higher that number there, the more of a sharp downward move you get. Okay. Okay. So now what we're doing, I've basically validated the trade. So I've said I'm going to take EG if it triggers. Yeah, I'm comfortable it's in a downtrend. I'm comfortable it's at a good structure level. There's divergence. Fib levels are good. It's the first step on the strategy is that the DC channel's hit. So this little red thing, that's the DC channel and it's hit at entry. So tick. Because the scanner is glitchy, then what I do is come straight over to this. Entry was 6 a.m. Around here was where the scanner called the entry. So what I do is I make sure I've got the right candles on, first and foremost. I drop down to the 15-minute. Okay, I drop down to the 15-minute because it gives us the best chance to get risk reward. Okay, best chance for risk reward. A little tip as well. You know that on the scanner, these TP1, 2, and 3, they're the fib levels. So that's the 38.2, that's the 618, and that's the obviously the 100%, so knocking out the equal low in this example. All right, so I'll come to the scanner and draw up. Sorry, come to trading view, and then just draw up the targets. There's obviously this is all preference, but I just get one of these out. I normally do them in green, but red at the moment because I moved my stop to entry. I'm going to talk over the first entry. There's 3 entries this scanner gives you. I'm going to talk about the first one. So up here on the scanner is where it said, we think this is going to reverse. So you can put all your support in, and if you want to, in your trend lines. We've kind of already done that. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And then we're looking for the strategy to trigger. So any of my scanner source crew will know that in a sell, we're looking for a flat top, red candle crossing where the 4 McGinley, the blue line crosses through the candle. So I'm just looking for one of those. So we've got a few here, but I'm moving on because I'll explain where our entry is in 1 second. So we're looking for a flat bottom candle So, right, this one would have been ideal. I'll tell you why. So it's flat bottom, flat top even. The 4 McGinley is now trading under the 4 McGinley. When that candle closes, I would have got in. The reason why we need let me put a line in. All right, so on the AO, we need a red bar. So we've got a red bar. We need the red on top of the blue on the stop. We need the red on top of the blue on the DMI. And we need the DMI above 40. So on that one candle, it all lines up. Yeah, they call it confluence or whatever. Basically, you just want it all in the same area, all lined up. So this yellow box is our confirmation candle. It's our entry candle zone. Now, this basically says that any time that the candles or prices in this area, it's safe to enter. So when you're watching it, though, this would have triggered. We would have got in around here, stop above the high, so 18 pip stop. We're aiming for TP3. Alrighty? TP3. Now, on Euro GBP today, there's been loads of news, especially this morning. So I think the news probably impacted this one a little bit, and it's figuring itself out. But as you can see, kind of went into profit, then it's pulled back a little bit, and we'll just hold it. We'll just hold it and hold it and hold it. And the idea is that it will run down to 3. So if you think about the logic of all of this, like pieced together, downtrend with support, then waiting for entry. Obviously, we've got the scanner that's like 7 confirmations anyway, saying it's going to reverse, and the scanner source giving us the entry. So if we're right, if we've got it correct, then it should go down and hit TP3 and make a new low. That's the logic. I've just seen that question, Ryan. I actually triple trade these if they trigger. So the second entry is when the 4 and 20 cross, and the third entry is when the 4 and 50 cross. So that one will be in quite a bit of drawdown right now. But all of them, I'll be doing a maximum of 3% per position, so 1% on each entry. What it means is if I don't know, if I'm busy or whatever, if I'm doing something, and I miss one of the entries, then I've got another chance to enter. So once I've set the trade, I'll show you on the scanner in a second, like some of the successful ones. But once you set the trade, then I leave it. So I'll come back to the hour, and can you see here? It's not even triggered on the hour yet. But I would technically be in this 3 times. Just watch it triggering on the hour. So I watch for the confirmation candle. I watch for the 4 crossing the 20, then the 4 crossing the 50, and I know already that I'm in it. By the time it gets to TP1, TP2, like when I'm 20 pips, 25 pips up, I'm at break even. And I just let it run. Sometimes it takes a few days. Sometimes it will be, quick. But you see the risk reward on that is 1 to 5. So risk 1% to make 5. So when you've got the 3 trades in, there's a very, very high chance that will be over a 10% gain. Oh, Ryan, did I answer that? Yeah. So I move stop loss to entry about 25 pips. Normally when I'm about 1 to 1, so 20, 25 pips. So I de-risk it, let it run. So if I jump back to the scanner, like we know all the ones at the bottom are the ones that have gone to TP3 and beyond. I think NU was perfect. Yeah, like NU, that downtrend from here forever. So imagine you'd got in at all three, and you're in 3 times to come down. On the third entry, I aim a little bit below TP3, so I aim for the 127 extension, and that absolutely smashed all of it. So this came on last week, I think. Yeah, last week. GN, I actually took this. Load. Load. Nope. Goes to the scanner. Yeah, and that's what I do. So do you go for TP3 with all 3 trades? I'll go for TP3 with the first and second entry, and then the third entry I go for the 127 extension. So I have to draw my own fibs, and then find the 127 extension. I aim for that. I don't always hold it for that long though, to be honest. If I get to TP3 and it's a percentage growth that I like, then I'll just close. Depends how quick it gets there too. But that's it. So a lot of the time with the scanner, because it's a reversal scanner, it will give you cells in uptrends and stuff like that, or it'll give you, there'll be consolidation areas and it will give you a trade. I just stay away from them. So I've just learned to be really patient, really disciplined. I just want the absolute best setup that's out there. So there's days where I don't trade, so I'll just be looking every couple of hours, and if there isn't the right setup, then I'll leave it. That patience, that sort of waiting for the right opportunity, is definitely what helped me make the biggest difference in my account growth. So yeah, that is my story. That is my story. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I've got a team of about 20, and there's about 5 of us now. There's 4 that are going through tests. I'm the only one funded currently, but they're close behind. We use this and we take bank heist. Do you have a WhatsApp group for chat, help, and so we don't call trades in our groups. I've got a group to my team. We don't call trades because everyone's kind of independent. So sometimes trading in a team has its disadvantages, because you might look at a trend and see an uptrend where I see a downtrend. Happens all the time. And what you just have to go with your gut, journal it, and you'll see then where your areas of where you need to work on. So if you're constantly getting tapped out, it doesn't hit TP1 and hits your stop loss, and 9 times out of 10 you're not with the trend. Yeah, we help each other. We do weekly calls. Mostly we cover mindset. So I've got them all listening to Kevin Trudeau, which is what Luke Longmire sent me. So everyone's sort of leveling up on their, the way they think, the attitude towards trading, all that sort of stuff. We journal. We have a laugh. I'm in your FTA groups, so you've got what we've got, but yours is just on a bigger scale. So it's been really cool to see how you guys are all doing it, and I love what James is doing with everyone. I think it's really noble. When we connected, we realized we had the same goals for our people, and it's it's powerful that we can come together. How many trades do you do a week? It depends on obviously how many setups there are, but I'm trying to find 2 or 3 a week, a couple. If I can get away with 1 a week, then I'm laughing. So yeah, a couple a week. Being really picky has really helped, and I'm sure there's probably ones that I've looked at and discounted and they've gone to TP3 and beyond, but you just got to trust that whole self-belief. like my journal is my backup. Whenever I'm sort of questioning myself, I just retrace my journal and like, no, you're doing it right. Okay, cool. Or no, you made a mistake. Yeah, you've done that before. Don't do it again. Like, we're only human, aren't we? Yeah, so a couple of trades a week, and then that's where freedom is. You know, I'm not on the charts all day, every day. I do London opening. I do London and New York crossover. Listen to Luke live. Is 3 sessions a week. Yeah, I've got it. I'm looking down here because I've got like a schedule. So I built a schedule based on my journal. So like that tells me when to trade based on my results. So it all comes from that. That's why they call me the nutty professor. Everything's by design. Nothing's by chance. So yeah, it works for me anyway. It works. But does anyone want to come off mute? Ask me any questions. If you've got anything, I'll hang around for a little bit. If not, if you want to drop anything in the chat, I'm more than happy to answer anything that's. I'm just going to stop the recording though, so that you know